The people of the state of Goa have bestowed me with the privilege of being the lawmaker by exercising their right to vote. Hence, it is a matter of pride for me to interact with such a rich pool of professionals who either assist in lawmaking or who do the work of assisting the court in interpreting this law and legislation. With the outreach of the knowledge revolution, the citizens have become far more aware, vigilant and assertive for the law rights, and in a positive sense, this makes the job of the lawmakers far more challenging, wherein the proposed enactment are more often not but through the judicial scrutiny and before being thoroughly implemented. I'm glad that and all of you who are discussing the various topics such as the corporate law, family law, civil law, criminal law and administrative law, etc. as a part of this conference. I'm pretty sure that discussion of these intellectuals will surely yield something very successful for the society at large. We all are the part of rapidly changing the world, wherein the traditional boundaries of nations are getting diluted and new world order of an inclusive coexistence becoming a reality. The global village wants the skilled manpower, it wants the advanced technology, it wants the ease of living, it wants ease of doing a business, it sets the sustainable development goals. And to achieve all this, we need law enhancement with a fresh and modern outlook and mindset. I'm sure that if we move with the right intent, we can largely achieve the necessary reforms that will make the law enforcement far more swift in the Commonwealth jurisdictions. The Bar Council of India have established the India International University of Legal Education and Research Center in the state of Goa with the help of Government of Goa. I welcome them, one of the best institutions in legal. Also, they have shown the interest to form the further educational system in the state of Goa. So definitely, I think that will help in future for the Commonwealth country too. Our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji has envisaged India as a global guide in India, which is an Vishwaguru, which practices and preaches its traditional belief of the universal brotherhood, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It is a matter of pride that our nation has honor of having G20 presidency for this year, and we will be hosting a series of meetings to crave out of the path for the future of mankind. Goa has been granted a task of hosting as many as 8 meetings in these G20 events. We are glad that your conference is happening in the state of Goa, and it is a further strengthening our resolves to make the Goa as a prominent destination for the MICE tourism in India. I thank our Union Law Minister Sri Kiran Rijiju for having graced this conference, and also for all of you be present here. At the outset, I wish all of you with a pleasant stay, and also may the fruitful results embarking out of your deliberations. आप सभी लोगों का मैं इंडिया में, गोवा में स्वागत करता हूँ. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
The theme of the conference is Common Challenges in Uncommon Times. And it was fascinating to hear Chief Minister of the new Legal Training Institute that will be based in Goa. and of the fact that some of the G20 meetings will be here. Those delegates will be as fortunate as we are to enjoy this wonderful state and the wonderful hospitality. You mentioned in your remarks the Union Minister of Law and Justice, Sri Kiran Rijiju, and it was my great pleasure in Delhi at yet another of our pre-conference visits to India to have dinner with Minister Rijiju, and an important cabinet post in the government of the Union of India, delivering policies of justice across this vast and populous land. We are honoured that you have come today to be with us, and we look forward to a greeting on behalf of the Government of India from the Minister of Law and Justice. Please, sir.
Honorable Governor of Goa, Sri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Sri Dr. Pramod Sawant, the Senior Judge, Justice Mahesh Sharat Chandra Sanak, Dr. Peter Wennert, the President of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, Sri Baroness Scotland, Srimati Madhavi Diwan, Additional Solicitor General of India, Sri Devidas Pangam, Advocate General of Goa, Sri J.E. Coelho Pereira, President Goa Bar Association, Sri Brian Spears, the former President Commonwealth Lawyers Association, Mr. Brigid Watson, Merrick Woods, the Master of the Ceremony, and all the dignitaries who are here today in the beautiful state of Goa, representing the beautiful countries of the Commonwealth nations and other invited guests. First of all, it is a privilege for me to be part of this very important conference. I know there are esteemed group of speakers who would be deliberating on important subjects in this very intense conference which you have kept here. And I know there will be numerous positive outcomes after the conference. As is practiced in the Commonwealth nations, whenever a minister is invited to speak, he or she comes with a very loaded statement, prepared text, very academic in nature. In any case, this prepared speech of mine would take not less than 1 hour. So I have decided to pick up just few points and make a very quick remarks because the time demands so, and I am also expected to speak for 5 to 7 minutes. As the theme of this conference, Commonwealth Lawyers, Common Challenges in Uncommon Times. Well, every moment seems to be uncommon these days. We are just emerging from the COVID-19 crisis, and you all know how our government, led by the visionary Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, successfully handled the very complex COVID-19 situation in India, and we have played a leading role in containing this deadly epidemic. Now, I've just gone through some of the topics which you are going to discuss. You are going to touch upon all the myriad of topics which are, of course, very, very relevant in today's time and in the future also. As we all know, Commonwealth is a very diverse association of nations, but it is united by language, history, culture, and the rule of law. The Commonwealth is home to some of the world's oldest and most established legal systems, as well as some of the newest and most innovative ones. I feel proud to share that India, besides being the mother of democracy, holds the distinction of nourishing the oldest judiciary in the world. No other judicial system shares such an ancient and magnificent lineage. The original text of our classical literatures give a vividly dynamic depiction of our ancient legal system. The concept of welfare state is very well enshrined not only in the Constitution of India but in the constitutions of all the Commonwealth nations. Now, when we talk about many provisions, we have fundamental rights and we have fundamental duties. And in the core of all these provisions is the justice to the people. Now, when we talk about the welfare state and justice as the core for any state, welfare of the people becomes the primacy. And I must inform this august gathering that to provide justice to 1.4 billion people is a huge challenge for us. We may talk about various other things, but if the most deserving common person, the common citizen, do not get the basic needs, the justice remains only a word. Our government has tried from the day one to ensure that all those unreached people are reached. All those left out people are connected. And some of the schemes which our government has launched in last 8.5 years are astonishingly successful. If you see the figures, the success rate, you will be amazed. The last time when you had gathered in India for the Commonwealth Law Officers Conference, the Lawyers Conference, you might have seen what India was then, and you might have seen the differences what India is now. If I talk about the figures and the numbers, it will take a long time, but just to give a sense that today, every part of our country, every citizen is a beneficiary of every welfare step taken by the Government of India. More than 1/3 of the people are connected with the financial services in last 8.5 years alone. If you see some of the critical policies which you have taken using the technology, the success rate is tremendous. I feel as a welfare state, it is very important that we listen to every individual. Now, our government has been in the forefront in various steps, especially steps leading to creating an ease of living for the common citizens. The policies and programs of our government, especially the decisions on ease of doing business, it's very, very successful so far. We believe that the laws are for the people. If the laws become an obstacle for the common people, if the compliances are becoming a burden on the lives of the common people, then we must do away with such provisions. In last 8.5 years, we have already removed 1486 obsolete and redundant laws. We feel such laws have no place in the statute books. We have taken drastic steps in the ongoing budget session, which will resume on 13th of this month. I'm going to finally push a bill to remove another 65 bills and other provisions which are obsolete, which are redundant. Similarly, we want there should be reduction in the pendency of the cases. It is staggering to see more than 4 crore 90 lakhs. That is 49 million cases pending in various courts of India. It is not easy to reduce the pendency of cases in Indian courts simply because the new coming of cases are double than the cases being disposed of. Indian judges are working extraordinarily hard, but it is becoming more challenging as the day goes by. In normal circumstances, in India, average judge handles 50 to 60 cases a day. Now, we all know, even to decide a case, how much you had to put in efforts. In last few years' time, some of the judges have disposed of more than 200 cases in a day. Now, this is extraordinary. But the pendency of the cases are rising day by day. We are using technology for that. We have started the e-courts special project, phase 3. Our ultimate target is to make Indian judiciary completely paperless. There is no alternative to face the challenges of the rising pendency of the cases. We are also exploring the alternative dispute resolution mechanism, especially the arbitration and mediation. The mediation bill is pending in the parliament now, intensely being scrutinized by the Parliamentary Standing Committee. I hope very soon we will be able to push through the mediation bill so that both mediation and arbitration is completely institutionalized in our country, because we are so used to moving in a very ad hoc kind of arbitration and mediation. Now, during this COVID-19, you will be amazed to see that the Indian courts never stop functioning. That is because of our e-face project 2, which had given our judiciary a proper platform to function in a hybrid mode. Especially in the peak of the COVID time, it was totally online. We were functioning in a virtual mode. Now, as I said in the beginning, there are so many things to share. I am tempted to share with you, but I will just confine myself to few of relevant points which I feel I must share with these great minds coming together from the Commonwealth nations. We talk about democracy, we talk about rule of law. Now, there are some basic fundamentals to all those issues which we discuss day in and day out. One of the important success story of the democracy is, I feel, a strong constitutional provision which calls for a clear-cut separation of powers amongst judiciary, executive and the legislature. If any wing tries to encroach upon the territory of another wing, that must be fiercely resisted, because it poses great danger to the democracy itself. If legislature, executive or judiciary try to overstep, it must be a concern for everybody. It is not for one wing, it is for all to come together. In India, being a member of parliament, I am part of the legislature. And as the minister in the union cabinet, I am also the part of executive. And that is the system of parliamentary democracy which we practice in India. We must respect the mandate of the people. The mandate of the people, which is followed due process of law, must be respected at any cost. This cannot be challenged by a smear campaign. I have seen in recent time, there are, in the name of freedom of expression, attempts are being made to attack the democracy itself. Democracy succeeds and thrives only if we respect the mandate of the people. Constitution is the supreme book. Nobody can challenge the constitutional provisions. One should not try, even attempt to defy the provisions of the Constitution. When we talk about freedom, liberty, constitutional rights, we should not forget about the constitutional duties. The duties of the citizen are important. I can assure this august house, in India, democracy cannot be overthrown because Indians are inherently democratic. There was one attempt in 1975 when the emergency was imposed, but people of India resisted fiercely. And rule of law, the constitutional law prevailed again, and it will prevail forever to come. If anybody tries to discredit the Indian system, Indian democracy, Indian institutions, it will never succeed. As a country of 1.4 billion people, India will have to play a critical role, not only within the comity of the nations in the Commonwealth, but across the globe. A strong and stable government will lead to a successful existence of a state. A stable state is important for the citizens to get all their constitutional rights. If there is anarchy in the society, if there is a free run for everybody, then the state will be rendered helpless. We must ensure the rule of law prevails forever. India's commitment to democracy and India's commitment to rule of law will always be there, and I can assure this august gathering that you have chosen the beautiful city of Goa as the venue of the 23rd Commonwealth Law Conference. And from the Government of India, and my friend Honorable Chief Minister of Goa has just made the remarks, we will commit to the spirit of the unity of the Commonwealth nations, and we will be guided by the spirit of democracy and the rule of law. I'm thankful to the organizers for inviting me and to share the dais with such a august gathering here. I also thank the Honorable Governor of Goa for his gracious presence here, and I also expect that you all will have a very pleasant stay here in Goa. India is a large country. You have the option to explore beyond Goa also. The part of the country which is called as Northeast, where I come from, some of you can have the liberty of taking some extra time, visit Northeast India, North India, South India. India has so much to offer. And I am an avid traveler. I love to travel and meet people and learn from different parts of the world. In the same manner, we all Commonwealth nations, all the citizens of the Commonwealth countries must always share our knowledge, our experience, culture with each other. My best wishes to the organizers of the conference for the successful conduct of this 23rd Commonwealth Law Conference here in Goa. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Well, on behalf of all of the delegates, Minister, we thank you for those energetic remarks, and I was particularly struck by the vigour with which the rule of law was both recognised and committed to. The separation of powers is something that the Commonwealth Lawyers Association are very familiar with, and I hold here the Commonwealth Latimer House Principles, which extols that very separation of powers, and we'll be hearing more about that from Her Excellency the Secretary-General momentarily. Those from my own jurisdiction and from many of the Commonwealth jurisdictions will know that as soon as anybody mentions mediation in a favourable light, I prick up immediately, and I wish to acknowledge the leadership globally in India, in developing processes of mediation, discussing, training, and now implementing, from what you say, Minister, the mediation bill. And we in the Commonwealth will look on very closely to that. I was pleased to present a paper on the Singapore Mediation Convention, and India is definitely taking a lead on the development of mediation, and I hope that is for all the good reasons that mediation can bring about effective dispute resolution and not just reduce the pending trials, which are so amazing in their numbers in India. So we thank you, Minister, for coming. We thank you for those inspiring words. And now we come to our official opening of the conference. You will have heard reference to the Governor of Goa, and we are delighted that Sri Haran Pillai is with us as Governor of this proud state. Governor, you met us at your palace, the Bhavan Palace. We took tea with you, and we were shown around the palace in its beautiful location, and we are truly delighted and honoured that you have accepted the invitation to formally open our conference, and we invite you now to make some words of official opening of this 23rd CLC. Governor, please.
Honourable President of CLA, Honourable Minister of Law and Justice, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, our dynamic Chief Minister of Goa, Honourable Attorney General for India, Honourable Additional Solicitor General for India, Chief Justice of High Court of Mumbai, Advocate General of Goa, President of the Goa Bar Association, Honourable Judges, Senior Lawyers, Delegates, and distinguished guests. I am extremely happy to inaugurate this conference, and with the permission and blessings of all of you, I declare that this conference is open. Commonwealth is a political association of 56 members in 1926, and declaration at that time, Balfour Declaration, and subsequently we all know that the latest, now in 19 December 2012. If you go through the declaration, there are 12 main points are there. And of course about, except one or two, all other aspects, values in the charters are referred by my previous speakers. Our Honorable Union Minister in detail presented what is going on in India related to that aspect. Of course, 12 principles, values in Charter of Commonwealth Nations, democracy, human rights, international peace, tolerance, respect and understanding, freedom of expression, separation of powers, rule of law, good governance, sustainable development, and protecting the environment, etc. Honorable Minister covered almost all aspects. And I would like to say something with respect to environment and present situation. When I go through all these values in Charter, I would like to say we are now in Goa, a beautiful place, and I am sure that after the conference also, most of the delegates will remain here and enjoy the beautiful state as visitors. I think our Honorable Chief Minister may make arrangement for that purpose. I think so. And regarding this aspect, what is the importance of Goa as far as legal fraternity is concerned? I would like to say that this is the only place in India, of course Pondicherry is also a certain part is there, wherein continental concept of law and Anglo-Saxon system of law both are experienced by Indian people mainly in this place alone. Of course, Bar Association President has indicated something with respect to that aspect. So the system, continental system was existing in Goa till 1962. Thereafter, Anglo-Saxon system is following. There are so many in India as a whole, except Pondicherry and this Goa, all other places, Anglo-Saxon system was following about 200 years back. So that is why I am saying, Law Ministry is here. If you want to get what are the plus and minus for the system following us, only from experience, people of Goa alone can say what are the merits and demerits. So that is one of the important aspects regarding legal system of India is concerned. Practical experience. From their practical experience, people can say what are the merits and what are the demerits. And second thing, also in one word, our Bar Association President referred, that is Common Civil Code. If you go through the discussions in the Constituent Assembly, Article 44 is concerned, who insisted, vehemently argued for a common civil code for the country. Dr. Ambedkar's name is there. Honorable Prime Minister, our proud Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru's name is there. And under Article 44, we all know, we are all lawyers, strive for the implementation of a common civil code for the entire citizens. I don't want to go to the political aspect. And the umpteen decisions are also by the Supreme Court for the need of implementing it. But why we are keeping mum? That's due to various reasons. I don't want to criticize anybody on that aspect. But in India, the only one state which is implemented common civil code is this Goa. And Goa, you see, maximum number of minority community people are there in Goa. In population, an analysis of the population, we can see 26 to 27% a particular minority community, Christians, and 11% of the population are Muslims. But people are following, Muslims, Hindus, Christians, and atheists, everybody is following a common civil code, and this Article 44 is not a dead letter in Goa, and I am complimenting the people of Goa for implementing it. Then as far as communal rights and other things are concerned, social evils are concerned, Goa is free from that. If you go to every village of Goa, you can see people are good at heart, loving nature, their hospitality. So I am requesting all of you remain here in Goa and freely talk to the people of Goa, see the sightseeings and enjoy the life. I am requesting for all of you for that purpose. What about the Commonwealth concept? I would like to say Commonwealth concept, I have already stated 12 points, which is almost applicable, applied. In the present India, we can see almost all points are considered and forcefully following by the people because of the tradition. In 1893, there was a Chicago conference in which one Swami Vivekananda, a monk from India, became a Vishwa Guru. He is called Vishwa Vijayi Vivekananda after that. If you go through the speech, what message was given in 1893 by Swami Vivekananda? World peace, prosperity of all. Beyond India, the entire universe is one and same. That is a message given by Swami Vivekananda. Of course, he is from northeast area, Bengal, and our Honorable Union Minister's place. And then I would like to say one more aspect. In 1966, India got first time a chance in UN to have a concert, a music concert. India sent Emma Subbulakshmi for that purpose. In UN first time in 1966, India got an opportunity to present its music. You see, Shreyo Bhuyat Sarvajananam, Sanskrit. I am not going to the details of that. Shreyo Bhuyat Sarvajananam, she started with that. What is the meaning of that? See, happy for everybody in the world, happiness of everybody in the world. For that purpose, Shreyo Bhuyat, Shreyo means happiness, flourishness. For the entire world she sang at that time. These types of things, I am stating this because now G20, India is selected or elected as its head. Our Chief Minister already stated regarding that aspect. I am not going to the details. You see, one earth, three mantras, one earth, one family, one future. So this is a concept of our country, and that is why I am very happy that we received more than, I am told that about 50 countries are represented in this conference. I would like to request your attention on one more aspect. In the Constituent Assembly, there was a discussion on Commonwealth and its importance. In the Commonwealth countries, 1949, 17th May 1949, in the Constituent Assembly, there was a discussion on Commonwealth, whether India should join with the Commonwealth or not. In that discussion, unanimous view taken by India, I can quote from our Constituent Assembly discussion. Sri Satya Govind Das stated as under, whether to join the Commonwealth had stated as under in court. According to the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, which is now before the veil, we can have no enmity with anybody. Still, there was necessarily some bitterness due to the struggle. Struggle means Indian independence struggle. Later on, the circumstances changed. We became free and achieved an independence due to Mahatma Gandhi's greatness without any bloodshed. Now there is no friction, no bitterness between Great Britain and ourselves. The bitterness has now given place to friendship. If we look at things from our old age angle, we find ourselves faced with difficulties. I wish to remind the members of the Constituent Assembly another slogan from the Gita itself. We look at everything from the old angle. I'm not quoting that Gita version, but it's starting Krodha, Bhavati, Samodha, etc., etc. 4 lines are there. Its meaning is this: anger gives rise to wrong in thinking, which creates forgetfulness. Forgetfulness destroys wisdom, and by that a man perishes. This is quoted in our Constituent Assembly discussion, and finally decided to join with Commonwealth. So that is why our Supreme Court also, regarding the present, last point, protecting the environment is also a mandate of our Commonwealth countries. Regarding that aspect also, I would like to say the only one country in the world adopted from time immemorial ecocentric concept on environment. So environmental system is concerned, usually we are all using the word exploit the nature. You can't see in India, in Indian traditional books, 2000 years, 3000 years, 4000 years old books, you can't see anywhere it was stated that exploit the nature. So you said exploiting the nature, not in Bharat, our common heritage of mankind. We believe in the common heritage of mankind. Thus, our high seas, outer space, and planetary objectives are considered as common heritage of mankind. In 1996, Supreme Court, in its one of the important judgments in MC Mehta versus Kamalnath, our Indian legal system, that aspect is quoted, I am quoting from the judgment. Quote, our legal system based on English common law includes the public trust doctrine as part of its jurisprudence. So public trust doctrine declared by our Supreme Court again in this judgment, and that is a traditional system of our country. The state is a trustee of all natural resources which are by nature mean to public use and enjoyment. The public at large is beneficiary of the seashore, running waters, airs, forests, and ecological fragile lands. The state as a trustee is under a legal duty to protect the natural resources. These resources being for public and we converted not into private ownership. This type of thinking is there. So we are meeting from 50 countries, legal fraternity as a whole is represented here. I would like to say this concept declared by Supreme Court of India, public trust doctrine, and heritage, a common heritage for the heritage of mankind. I am not going to the details because time is only maximum 10 to 15 minutes allotted for me. I don't want to go to the details. But one thing I can proudly say that the Indonesian conference, Bali conference of G20 countries, One Earth, One Family, One Future, is based on the Bharatiya concept of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. And of course, regarding that, there is a Sanskrit sloga is there that happens to be now our slogan as well. That is, Loga Samasta Subhino Bhavantu. So, entire world is concerned like that. The early morning, a Bharatiya, original Bharatiya person proudly say that Loga Samasta Subhino Bhavantu. Anobhadra Kradavo Inda Vishwandaka. Let noble thoughts come from everywhere. We are prepared to receive. Our mind is not closed. This ancient concept is there. And Egam Sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. Egam means one. Egam Sat, truth is one. Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. Pandits are calling it in different names, and through different ways we are reaching the truth. This concept is there. That is why, while India undertook the responsibility of G20 countries' leadership, our Prime Minister declared that 3 mantras, one earth, one family, and future also one. Future is not confined to Indians alone. Future is not confined to Pakistan alone, not US alone. Future is also a common for the mankind. That concept is there. So this conference would achieve positive results, and I am praying for that, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
I'm just going to say thank you to the Governor. I know that there's some rearranging of the platform party, and I'm hoping that Mark has more idea of what's to happen next than I do. So I thank you, delegates, for showing appreciation to our wonderful platform party, and to Mark for guiding us to the next step. You are asked to remain in the hall to hear the Secretary-General's keynote address on Latimer House principles. But Mark, if you could rearrange for us.
Thank you very much indeed, Brian, and thank you to our official party. As we thank them, I invite members of the official party to leave the stage and take your seats to then hear the address by the Baroness Scotland. Thank you very much, and please thank our official party.